Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and thank you very much for joining me here again on MV Rugby. I almost feel like I've crossed over. It always kind of happens once a year uh, from time to time where you feel like you just kind of crossed over into the twilight zone. Massive performance by some teams that you would not have expected to win this weekend. Bulls making a massive improvement to their game, especially under some really, hectic conditions. And then also the, wow, Scarlets beating Ulster. I mean, they're just, in my wildest dream, I never could have imagined this happening at all. The 27-22 win over Ulster. I didn't see this coming. I think we all just basically, we crossed over into a twilight zone, got lost somewhere, and now we're trying to, with a torch, trying to find our way back. It's wow, totally unexpected. I didn't expect also the Bulls to perform so well against Edinburgh. Edinburgh being an extremely strong team, fighting their way back from a deficit within the second half, within the first half into the second half, securing a much-needed win for themselves. The Lions and the Ospreys very much equally matched, but I will talk about all these games. Obviously, I'm not going to cover the Scarlets, but just an honourable mention to them. Well done, massive well done, feather in your cap, beating one of the top, the top tiers of the URC at this point. I think you guys can be massively proud of yourself. So also the Sharks, very good performance there in a massive epic derby down here in Cape Town. Going to carry that forward within this next weekend. But without any further ado, let's talk rugby. Well, there you have it, folks. I think it was completely inevitable. Although I think the Stormers did very well with an 8-game winning streak within a single tournament in the URC. And I'm just glad that it was basically just a South African team that would defeat them and end the winning streak within the URC this season, rather than an overseas team. Although the talent overseas certainly does exist. I'm happier than it was a local team, really, within a massive derby clash to end the Stormers' reigning undefeated streak within the URC. And to be honest, not the best performance by the Stormers. It's sad to say. But to be honest, probably one of the worst games that they played thus far within this season in the URC. Performance was marred by discipline issues, ball handling issues. Even with the set plays, it didn't quite gel as well as previous games. They lost 2 of their own scrums and 4 of their own lineouts. So the discipline there within the set plays also wasn't what it was supposed to be. The breakdowns was a lot better. Not a lot of turnover balls on the side of the Sharks. But I think if we talk about this game, we have to talk about the man, the machine that is Andre Esterhuizer. And probably one of the moments that stands out for me is the utterly amazing strength and speed that was displayed by this man as he, intercepted Leland Zas after a brilliant line break from behind. He just completely outpaced him. And Leland Zas is not a slow poke. He's a guy with amazing speed, which is why he is a fly half. He's a winger, and he just totally outpaced him. The speed of a man that size is just it's amazing. I cannot believe that, it was like something. My jaw was dropping to the ground as I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. completely outpacing him, running him in from behind to take him out, I think just before the Sharks 22, as he was making a beeline for their goal box. It was just an amazing display of athleticism by this man. Pepsi Buthelezi himself making 10 carries, as well as Jason Jenkins. Jason Jenkins, of course, scoring the first try for the Sharks, putting points on the boards quite early. That was followed up by 2 tries by Damien Willemse of brilliant tactical long passes by Sasha Famba-Komazulu. And I think the same one was from Kobus Reinach, either Kobus Reinach or JD Sheckling. Ben Jason Dixon. But also to have the defense so well oiled that they would not let almost a single Stormer through. It was just absolutely amazing. The third try of the Stormers obviously being awarded as a penalty try due to a cynical collapse of the rolling maul as they were within, I suppose, realistic distance of the try line to score a try. But at the time when Emmanuel Techuka collapsed the scrum, and that awarded him a yellow card as well. Like I said, discipline for the Stormers also not what it was supposed to be, because yellow cards dished out to both Sazi Sande and Salman Murad. Salman Murad, literally a minute or two after he came on in the second half, in the 46th minute, due to now already I think about 5 penalties conceded by the Stormers, and receiving a warning from Amy Baratron. They, like the next one is going to be a yellow card, and Salman Murad comes on. He makes he's offside, and he's awarded a yellow card for that one. Sazi Sandi also getting his yellow card, unfortunately, which is also not helping the Stormers at all. That is a total of 32 minutes. The total of 24 minutes that these guys they were one guy short in the game. So it it really didn't help. But I think it was the Stormers did make a worthy effort of trying to score a 4th try, at least coming within the bonus point, the losing bonus point margin, and then also getting a 4-try bonus point for themselves to secure hopefully the top spot still of the URC on the URC table. But unfortunately it wasn't to be. The Sharks defense was just masterclass this weekend, as they also just out of the starting blocks mounted the pressure and never let go. The Stormers making worthy attempts at attacking movements, but often or not that would end in a unforced error, of either losing the ball forward or offside play, or taking the tackler out in the air too quick engagement within the scrum that would earn them the Sharks a free kick. And it was just all round just very bad performance on the Stormers' part. And the Sharks took full advantage. Never for 1 second let up any kind of pressure from the Stormers. They just kept badgering their defensive lines until something gave way. And that would result in, like I said, the first try by Jason Jenkins, second try by Grant Williams. That also resulted in 2 conversions by Hendricks. So Hendricks' kicking ability absolutely top class in this game as well. Also scoring 1 penalty goal, 2 penalty goals, one in the first half, one in the second half as well. Pepsi Buthelezi scoring a beautiful try himself, and then Estreza just sort of finishing off that beautiful performance by him with a try in the 72nd minute for himself as well. Like I said, penalty try for the Stormers in the 77th minute. That would basically bring the game into conclusion. No more points scored after that. Not for the want of trying. I mean, the Stormers tried to like I said, mount a concerted effort and a worthy effort to try and score a final try for themselves to just get to that losing bonus point, because I think at that point we had to score twice to actually to get ahead, but it wasn't to be. Final score there then 30-19 to the Sharks. A worthy win to the boys from Durban. It was a massive epic clash here in the DHL Stadium, one that will probably be remembered for quite a while. Well done to the Sharks with such a massive performance by you guys. I think your fans can be rightfully proud of you guys, and also JP Peterson, interim coach for the Sharks, can be massively proud of these boys. After this performance, I think the chances for JP Peterson to take a bit more of a permanent role within as head coach for the Sharks is probably going to be more likely now more than ever. So yeah, I wish him all the luck going forward, but I'm hoping also that the Stormers take away from this game a lot that they need to learn from. This was probably the worst performance that they've had within this URC season. It took them 8 games to get to this point, though, and I do feel that yes, eventually something was going to have to give. It is inevitable. I think it would be unrealistic for us to even consider a undefeated streak right up to the URC finals. It's just not going to happen. Unfortunately for the Stormers now, at this point from making this video, they are now lying second on the log, just below the Glasgow Warriors, basically just on bonus points. That this is possible, because out of the 10 games the Glasgow Warriors has played, they've lost 2, only 8 wins. The Stormers has only played 9 games so far, so they still got to play one more game this coming weekend for round 11, and so that's still pretty much up in the balance. But the Glasgow Warriors sitting now with a total of 7 bonus points to the Stormers 4, and that bequeaths them a total of 39 points on the log, with the Stormers coming in at 36 points. That is followed by Leinster with only 35. But I think Leinster has also now played the round 11 match already, so that's still up to the Stormers coming this weekend, how they're going to perform, and if they would be able to retake and reclaim their number 1 spot on the log for this season here. But we'll have to see what happens. The Stormers obviously going now for the coming weekend, facing off against the Sharks again, but this time in the Shark Tank. So they're going to need to pull up their socks, have a look at their performance anxiety and issues in last week's game, try to focus on their set plays, try to focus on their discipline, and try to really, please, guys, we need to pay extra attention to our ball handling and unforced errors. It doesn't help you mount a masterful attack movement through a very well balanced attack from forwards and back line, and we lose the ball into contact at the crucial number 99 minute, or number 99 point, or that we allow the Sharks to take control quite early on in the game and then still maintain that pressure right throughout the game, because there wasn't a single point in this game when the Sharks did not have full control over the dominance, and we need to change that if we have any hopes of winning this coming weekend within the Shark Tank. Remember, we're going to have you guys going to be right in the thick of it. I don't think there's going to be any kind of sympathetic voices from those stands this coming weekend, so we're going to need to focus. We're going to need to try and bury any kind of input from the fans, and just focus on the game, focus on your discipline, focus on your set plays, focus on not trying to commit so many unforced errors, and also, like I said, discipline. The penalties conceded this weekend, too much. To receive a warning from the referee and then concede a penalty and a yellow card right at the minute after Salman Murad came on. Wow. Also, Suleiman Hatzenberg dropping a wonderful try-scoring opportunity in the lurch there with poor ball handling off a long ball. It's just, it's this mistakes that we cannot afford, especially if the Sharks are going to stick with the same strategy as they had this last weekend. If they're going to try and wrestle down pressure right from the get-go and then try and maintain it throughout the entire match, because up and overs, they controlled the high ball masterfully. Whenever the ball was hoisted from their side, they were there. Whenever a grubber kick, it was chased. When grubber kick happened, it was chased. There was always someone there to either tackle the receiver or be a receiver themselves. So we're going to need to watch out for those things. There's a lot of work that we need to work on, and I'm hoping the Stormers are hitting the practice fields this week quite hard, spending extra time just to polish their performance off, because we cannot have a revisit of last week's performance at all if we have any chance of coming out on top this coming weekend. It's either that or we're going to fall back even further down. It's only 1 point difference between us and Leinster, and if Leinster is going to perform very well, or they performed very well in this last game, then we don't have a hope. We're going to end up in third place. So just those areas that I think really the Stormers need to focus on and really make work of it. John Dobson, I hope he's going to call them all together, have a strong word with them in the cloakroom after last week's game, and hopefully carry that further, learn from their mistakes, and try and make improvements as we go forward. We're facing the exact same team coming this weekend, and we're going to need to improve. We really are going to need to improve. The Stormers need to realize that yes, we are short certain key players. Zachary Porthen was not there, not even on the bench. Ivan Ruiz still off with injury. We also have Ruan Nel also still off with injury. And Sasha Famagomazulu and Kobus Reinach cannot carry an entire team themselves. So Suleiman and the rest of the team are going to need to bring their A game. Warwick Galant made quite a few mistakes in this past weekend's game that we cannot afford. He's going to need to focus on that. Damien Willemse performed admirably, scoring 2 tries for the team himself. If we can carry that over into this next game, then maybe we can have a shot. If we can have improvements on all fronts, especially the performance within our scrums and the line-out set plays, that's all going to fall onto JD Sheckling and of course Ben Jason Dixon to really make improvements there. Cameron as well, he needs to focus on his game. He might have been a big shot within the under-20 Springboks, but this is a whole new level of play. This is professional rugby coming in, and he's going to we're all going to need to pull up our socks if we have any hope of beating the Sharks on their home turf this coming weekend. And now coming to the Bulls, well done to them. Much better performance this time around by the boys in blue. Although very tough opponents from the Edinburgh side. Although I think the 90% of the points scored for Scotland was scored by South Africa. Both Duan van der Merwe and Skuman basically scoring the first 2 tries for Edinburgh this time around, and the third try basically in the first half by Ray, converted by Thompson. Thompson not performing as he should have, only slotting 1 conversion this entire time. But I have to admit, I mean, the weather in Glasgow was wow, something next level. I mean, these guys, there was crosswind that just, was probably great gales blowing. I wouldn't want to know exactly what the knots reading on that wind was, because it was hectic. But yeah, dominating the first half by the Glasgow Warriors, and that just swung completely within the second half, with Grobelaar and Van Staden scoring both their tries as well. converted both by Pollard, and just sort of in the last minute of the last 10 minutes of the game, Van Staden scored a try there, converted by Pollard, right on the 70th minute. That compared with Coetzee's unconverted try within the first half basically sealed the deal. But a much better performance by the Bulls, especially on the discipline side, which they were lacking quite a bit of within the URC up to this point. Talking obviously the last two games where Villileroux went off with a yellow card both times, and I think it was Nkunu that also went off with a yellow card last weekend. So definitely, the Bulls had been marred a bit by discipline issues, but a much better game, much better performance by them, having obviously their set plays down and dusted, no issue there. But also very, very strong play by a lot of the forwards within the Bulls team. Jean-Andre Rudolph making amazing 14 carries for them, and then also Johan Grobbelaar coming in at 13 carries. Bradbury, obviously, for his team as well, with equally 13 carries. Massive performance by that young man himself. We have the Darcy Graham making a massive line break, and I mean that was an amazing play by him. If only that could have been converted to points on the board. Most of the line breaks was made by the Glasgow Warriors, by Edinburgh, excuse me, but unfortunately just couldn't convert that into points, which is mostly, like I said, testimony of the Bulls' defense, which was very, very well done, polished this entire weekend. Tackles completed, had Morris completing a massive 21 tackles in this single game. Marcel Coetzee doing very well himself with about 17 tackles. And then just overall, tries scored by both, 3 tries. But unfortunately, it was just on the conversion side where South Africa basically, or the Bulls from South Africa basically just, took the lead there. 19-17 win to the Bulls, and well deserved. Congratulations. And it's amazing that you guys could actually mount such a strong game under such conditions. 121 carries made by the away team compared to the home team's 100. 4 line breaks against their 5 line breaks. So definitely Glasgow made not Glasgow. I keep telling them, thinking, confusing Edinburgh with Glasgow. But Edinburgh making an amazing 5 line breaks. So most of the attacking movements coming from their side. Just unfortunately, the soft penalties or unforced errors that would lose them ball control, just as the attack starts to take shape, which would turn over pressure back onto themselves again. Didn't help, unfortunately. 100% scrum wins on the side of the Bulls, as well as 100% line out wins. Definitely set plays was down. They were very quick at the breakdown, not allowing Edinburgh to kind of make steals at all. But yeah, it was a very, very well performance by the Bulls in this stage of the game, and I hope they can carry it forward. They've come very close twice in winning the URC now over the past the last 2 seasons, and unfortunately, if you look at the state of the log at this point, I'm not quite sure if they're going to have a chance at the finals this year again. But at this point, they're still pretty much in the run for the playoffs. So maybe, who knows? It could still happen if they can polish down their performance from here on end and start doing a lot better. Leave the past games behind them. It's over. You can't do anything about that. Just need to make constant improvements as you move forward. And I think, the Bulls have got a good chance of doing it. Will they be able to catch the Stormers? I don't know. Will they be able to make it to the at least the quarterfinals? That remains to be seen. They have got some stiff competition going forward, as well as I will discuss. I will let you guys know exactly, who's where within the log at this point in time. Like I already said, that the Stormers has moved down to second place, but they still need to play their game for round 11 this coming weekend. So to make up for their 10 games, they've only played 9 games so far. They've won, they've won 8. At this point, it's just basically the bonus point that kind of curbed their progress a bit there. Putting Glasgow Warriors firmly above them with quite a few, I think 39 to 36. So there's 3 points difference there. So definitely those the 2 losing bonus points that we couldn't get this last weekend made a massive difference. Yeah, because that would have slotted us just below Glasgow Warriors with 1 point difference there. So yeah, definitely something that we need to improve, we need to work on. And now, of course, last but not least, we're talking about the Lions game against Ospreys that was played in the Electric Brewery Field in Wales. And this is also, coming over with some sad news, as it was announced recently by the Welsh Rugby Union that all funding from St Helens for the Ospreys club has basically been frozen, and there's only a projection of still continued performance or participation within international rugby by the Swansea club for the next 18 months. After that, we might say goodbye altogether to the Ospreys club, and this will be extremely sad for the rugby world. A proud club with a proud heritage. Although I still believe the negotiations with Welsh Rugby Union is still ongoing. So I'm hoping that maybe, the club can secure some much needed funding from hopefully another source, or could maybe sort out the whole issue with the St Helens account. And I hope that they can, bring that issue to a close where they now can fully have their funding restored and continued on. A proud heritage of Welsh rugby that would sorely be missed if it's gone. Honestly, some of the talent that's come out of the Ospreys has been massive and has made massive contributions to the rugby world, and it will be extremely sad to see them go if it comes to that. Like I said, it is still pretty much up in air. There is still a lot of negotiations going on behind the scenes, and I'm hoping that they would be able to secure a future for themselves going forward. But now, coming back to the game between the Lions and Ospreys, and pretty much tough game. Second game for the Lions, ending up in a draw. It is basically, it comes down to points at this stage of the URC season. Luckily, it isn't playoffs again yet, because I think if I look at the log as it stands, Ospreys is basically just below the Lions. And I think the Lions would be extremely lucky if this was a playoffs game, because then Ospreys definitely would have been knocked out. But it could have swung anyway. It could have swung anyway for them. It was just what a game. Frankie Horn scoring a massive, powerful try right at the beginning of the game, and in the 8th minute. That was not so shortly followed up by Ratti scoring a wonderful try for them, converted by Edwards. And then sadly, the Ospreys discipline failed them with a yellow card to Lake. That was then followed up about 10 minutes later by a yellow card for Kotsa. So, this game, it was, the rep was dealing out yellow cards like it was going out of season. Like I said, Lake, Kotsa, Davies, and then Oosthuizen. 2 yellow cards each team going off. So that it was, constant time when these guys were just one man down. Sort of taking turns, like, okay, are you gonna yellow? So now it's your turn. Okay, coming in the second half. Okay, Osprey's getting a yellow card now. Okay, now it's your turn. So it was very sort of a seesaw matchup between the two teams. Very equally balanced in strength. The Set plays was quite well oiled. Not major issues there. Daniel Casende for Ospreys scoring his try, a wonderful try for himself, sort of in the dying 20 minutes of the second half. Franco Horn scoring 2 tries, both only one converted by Smith. Smith doing extremely well. Kewan Horn as well scoring a fantastic try, sort of I think the dying minutes of the first half. I think the 43rd minute. It's just before they kind of broke up for halftime, putting the Lions just below Ospreys at 19-12 before they broke for halftime, and they fought back hard in the second half. Very strong comeback by them to end the game 24-all. Now again, set plays, not really issues there. The main issues was discipline on both teams, really. Some wonderful attack movements that we saw there. Massive line breaks that, by both teams. Ospreys doing a lot of work within the carries. Ryan Smith making 18 carries. That is shortly followed up by Hopkins and Morse. Then line breaks by Ospreys as well. 2 line breaks by Hopkins in massive plays. The one line break by Daniel Casende that converted into a fantastic try by him. And I think, Daniel Casende made just as much contribution to the Ospreys rugby as he did within South African rugby. So, wishing him all the luck going forward. I hope he's going to, stay with the Ospreys team for quite a long time still, carving out a future for him, obviously. So definitely good luck to him. Renzo Duplessis performing absolutely wonderful within defense. Massive 26 tackles. Chakani himself also about 25 tackles. Massive contribution on defense there. Mone van der Berg losing 2 turnover balls, not really performing as he should over there. Richard Creel also quite dominant on defense for himself. Massive play. And then there's the judging by the stats for the Lions, massive defensive effort. 245 tackles in total for this game. 177 meters made to the 372 meters made on the Osprey side. So they fought tooth and nail to stay back in this game. And they really played hard to kind of claw their way back in a massive effort up the point scoring ladder, in the second half to equalize with Ospreys right at the end. Like I said, the set plays wasn't an issue. Very quick at the breakdown for both teams. Massive cleanouts happening, trying to save possession of the ball for themselves. And they just, overall, performance-wise, cannot fault them. Just wasn't enough, unfortunately. Can focus a bit more on ball retention. 11 turnovers lost by the Lions. Compared to the Ospreys 16 turnovers lost, it's not that bad, but we can reduce that. 93 carries made only to the 198 carries made by the Ospreys. So, can maybe improve there a bit more on their performance side. The ball conversions can be better. Only 2 conversions on either side. So very much equally matched on both teams, and very well played by both of them. So I cannot really fault the Lions. I think they can do better. Anybody can improve as they're moving forward. There are certain issues that they can focus on. Discipline definitely being one of them. Defense can use a lot more work. Like I said, too many line breaks from the Osprey side. So, patch those gaps, guys. Patch those gaps. You're giving away way too many unnecessary territory to the opponents every time they break through your defensive lines, especially with up and overs, finding those gaps behind your lines. Constantly chasing your back, putting your side on the back foot the whole time. That just mounts pressure, which I'm sure you guys can do without. So only 6 line breaks by the Lions to the 10 line breaks by the Ospreys. Like I said, defense needs work. congratulations to the Ospreys on a massive effort there, and I hope we're going to see a lot more of it. Okay, so that's it from me, guys. Thank you very much for joining me, and yeah, like I said, as I promised, we'll cover the log for the URC now going forward. Like I already said, Glasgow Warriors now slotting in at number 1. Although Stormers still needs to play one game. They've only played 9 games, won 8 thus far. They're lying second now on 36 points, just below Glasgow Warriors with 39 points. Leinster taking up the 3rd place with 35 points. Cardiff Rugby in 4th place, equally with Leinster at 35. Munster taking up the 5th position with 34 points. Ulster in 6th position at 32 points, and of course, losing to the Scarlets this weekend really doesn't do them any kind of favors. Lions in 7th position, still within the top 8 at 24 points. Ospreys just below them at 21 points. Bulls are now in number 9th spot with 20 points. Benetton coming in at number 10 with 19 points overall. The Sharks at 11 with 19 points. Edinburgh at number 12 with 18 points. And it's amazing to me that Edinburgh hasn't been doing this well in this season, because they are generally a very strong team. So you expect them right at the top there with Glasgow and most of your Irish teams. Like I already said, massive upset to Ulster this last weekend with the underdog Scarlets coming in, making such a massive win for themselves, 27-22 against Ulster. Obviously Ulster are still getting their losing bonus point, but still, to be beaten by the number 15th ranked team on the URC log it's kind of smart. It's going to sting a bit. So yeah, like I said, Scarlet's coming in at number 15, second from the bottom. They are basically just beaten to the last position by Zebra at number 16 with only 12 points. Scarlets themselves lying on 13, and then Connacht just above that with 16 points, and Dragons RFC at 17 points. Now Dragons, I think they were going off up against Munster this weekend, and themselves by half time they were ahead by, I think, 2012 or 2017 against Munster, which I was just mind blown. Didn't expect that. So well done to all, for the past weekend. Some amazing performances by the different teams, and hopefully going forward to seeing some massive plays going on in the coming week. Benetton going against Scarlets now coming this week, this week. Glasgow Warriors taking on Munster. On Saturday we've got the Lions going on for the Bulls, so another epic clash there at Ellis Park between those two teams, and again another epic derby, we hope. We're going to be seeing the Stormers making a comeback against the Sharks, this time on the Sharks' home turf at the Kings Park Stadium in Durban. And then of course we have got Zebra taking on Connacht, Leinster going up against Edinburgh, Austin now sort of trying their luck with Cardiff Rugby, and I'm hoping it's not going to be a repeat of last weekend, because to have such a sort of a kick in the pants 2 weeks in a row is going to be bad for their self-image. Ospreys taking on the Dragons RFC. So that's going to be it for the URC Rugby coming up weekend, and we wish you guys all a fantastic week going forward. Looking forward to seeing you all in the next video, where I'm going to be covering the South African performances this coming weekend. And we can just sort of hold thumbs, hope for some fantastic rugby performances and amazing entertainment as we're moving forward here. So that's it. Thank you very much, guys. Give me your likes and like and subscribe if you haven't done so. And also, I love hearing from you guys. So give me your opinions in the comments field below. Where do you think the Stormers went wrong this last weekend? Where can they improve? What areas do they need to focus on? Also, what is your prediction for the next coming weekend? Do you think the prediction is going to be around about the same? Is it going to be just sort of switched over, as the Stormers make their make the field in the Kings Park Stadium. What do you think is going to happen in the Bulls versus the Lions round 2 within the URC between these two teams in the local derby? Give me your opinion where they can also improve themselves. The Lions going forward from there, how can they break this 2-week streak of just playing, sort of equalizing with their opponents in their matches? And where can they sort of improve themselves? Where can the Bulls improve their gameplay as well? So that's it from me, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Like I said, hoping to see you guys in the next video, and take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Peace out.
Marnus van der Merwe finds Lawson. Small steps here for the Scarlets. You see Dane Blacker there appealing at the referee, looking for whatever he can get. Henry Thomas stands up. Here's Williams. Costello to Mee, and Mee goes through, and Mee is away! Mee has scored the try! What a way to atone!